Hi there. What I'd like to demonstrate in this short video is how you could utilise Book Creator to demonstrate learners' knowledge and understanding of different number concepts and methods of counting. So Book Creator is a really easy to use tool. We've got a whole webinar about all the different features available. It's worth checking that out. What I'm just going to do here is just demonstrate a couple of quick methods for demonstrating learners' understanding. So again, if they're early to first level learners, it might be that you are creating the book and you're just capturing their learning in it as evidence. It might be if they're a wee bit more confident with their digital literacy skills that they are able to make it themselves. I'd certainly be suggesting by second level and even beyond. In fact, you could be doing an advanced higher in mathematics and still using Book Creator to perhaps journal some of your learning and make notes, or again to demonstrate understanding at even high level concepts. But for this one, I've stuck to quite simple primary level activities. So for this one, I've taken a photograph. I've spotted one cup. I've been counting things in my environment. There was a cup, and I'm able to write a sentence and to also draw the numerals here. So what I've got here is I've got a blank page. I can go up to add, and with the camera, I simply need to find my picture, take picture and use, add with the text. I could even, if you saw there, if I'm adding the text, I can use the microphone. There is one cup. And once I've finished recording, I can delete the unwanted bit. And there we go. So I can add text. There's options to change the size of text, etc. up here. And you can drag the text to different positions. Also, if I go up to add, I have the pen tool. It's really handy. I'm using a touchscreen device. So if I select the pen, I can practice drawing my numerals on there. There's loads of different features about colours and layouts, etc., but you'll find them in our full webinar. So that's how I created that page, and it's demonstrating that I was able to identify the number of cups in an environment and also to draw the numerals representing it. For this example, I found two counters and I've demonstrated that number 2 is my cardinal number here. So we were practicing how when you count things, it's the number you end on is the number of things, it's the amount of stuff. So we were practicing that cardinal. Also, a bit of a kind of digital way of doing my one-to-one correspondence. So although I'm not moving them about, I'm able to point them and say that that's number 1 and this is number 2. In this example, I've done the same sort of thing, but with my pens. And I suppose you could talk about, I could do some different examples on here. I could ink it if you're talking about perhaps stable order, that the numbers always come in the same order regardless of the way I count them. So if I go 1, 2, 3 on the next page, if I go 1, 2, 3, there's still 3 pens, so it doesn't matter if I count them 1, 2, 3, count them 1, 2, 3, or if I count them 1, 2, 3, there's still 3 pens, and the number 2 still comes after the number 1. That is the order of those pens, and also there's maybe a wee bit of order and relevance there. It doesn't matter the order I count them, there's still 3 things there. I thought again, if we're going back to numbers where learners might see them in the environment, I spotted on my keyboard, I was looking for a number 4, but I realised that, again, that order is there. So I've got 3, 4 and 5. So I've made a wee statement there about 4 coming after 3, but before 5, so I could demonstrate, I could take a picture of my whole keyboard and I could talk about the counting on. So if I was to add in a new page, so if I import an image of my keyboard there, I could then perhaps explore counting on. So I'm going, if I counted on in twos, I could go 3, 5, 7, 9. So I could show that I'm counting on it in twos each time. So again, you could different ways of evidencing different types of counting that you're doing with your learners there. This one, I've been practicing numerals here, so I had a photograph of my remote control and I have just practiced drawing over the top of them. So again, as before, I've got a photograph of the remote control as I did before, and when I select the pen, it's a wee bit finer perhaps, I can change the colour here. I quite like the rainbow pen, but as I practice my numbers, how close can I keep them inside the lines and to get that shape? And the more I practice, the better I will get with those numbers. So again, you could even create a wee workbook for learners with some photographs, and they've got to go and draw their numbers over the top, practicing those numerals. Again, just looking for examples in the environment. I found the CD had the word 8 written on it, and I've used the highlighter to just draw attention to that. So again, you can add my text, use words, draw the numbers. Also, again, going back through things in the house or in the classroom, I found this big long number, the barcode, on lots of books and other objects. And I've even got the price there, and perhaps you could, if you're working with older learners, perhaps they're going to tell you that there's a decimal point and we've got tenths and hundredths of a pound there, if that's the extent of their number knowledge. So there's, again, anything that you're doing, you could evidence it on a book. So again, add in text, images, and be able to ink it. On this one, what's really nifty with these, if I get rid of one of my fish, I rub that fish out just so I can demonstrate how I drew the fish this time. So again, particularly for learners to create something, their drawing skills might not be great, and again, I'm using a touchscreen device, so I could draw a fish with a pen, but if I was using the mouse, as I am here, it's perhaps a wee bit harder to draw the thing accurately. But if I draw that, you can see at the top of the screen here, Book Creator is asking if I meant one of these things here, and in fact what I actually wanted to draw was something that looked like that. So they can draw things, and Book Creator will give them a better graphical representation, which is just nice for the learner to feel a wee bit more confident about their drawings. But again, I've numbered these fish and I've been counting in this order: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 my cardinal number, but also I have used a recording here. So I could record the song 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Once I caught a fish alive, and I can add that recording, which again is great that I could do that for any of the pages. So I could put on a recording here explaining what I've done, so that it's available in text and also audio. So that might be useful for some of your learners. Again, making sure everyone is included there. And the last part here is when I go to add, I can use shapes. So in this case, I've added in a rectangle, and then I could go back and make notation on it and point out that I've got 1, 2, 3, and 4 corners on my rectangle there, and I've got 3 on the triangle. So again, the things can have numbers within them. So I've got 1 rectangle, but that 1 rectangle has 4 corners. So it's not just, doesn't have to be 4 things, it can be 1 thing but with many numbers. So loads and loads of different ways of adding different context and content there for your numeracy. Again, you can go in and add all different things from your Google services. Maps might be quite particularly useful for some numeracy work. You could zoom into an area, and you could perhaps find if there were anything numerical to do with a place. Perhaps you could look at the number of streets, the number of shops on a street, whatever's relevant to yourself there, and again, the level that you're working at. So quite handy to have a wee play with some of those other tools in there. And again, once you're finished with your book, you can share it, you can export it, you can do lots of different things, publish it online, for example. But again, to go through all of those features, do check out our full-length webinar, which covers absolutely everything for Book Creator. I hope that's been useful as a quick guide to Book Creator for numeracy and mathematics. Join us again for some more videos in the future.